So hello everyone, right about now I'm sure all of your subscription feeds are filled with videos like this one, so I'm glad you decided to watch mine. Today we're going to be rating every single 2021 F1 livery, from worst to best. Keep in mind that the nature of this video is to give my own opinion on a topic that has no correct answer, so if you disagree with either me or someone in the comments, please keep it civil. As a friend of mine would say,
keep it respectful, be wholesome, don't be a menace.
And without wasting any more of your time, let's just get into it. Number 10 is Williams. This is a livery that has split people a lot, and I know each side has their argument, but for every single reason I put on this little 2-minute long video up there on the right, I really dislike this livery. Not because of the colors or the pattern, but for the lack of a cohesive image. I'll keep it short, but it's like 4 liveries in one, with 3 different shades of blue used in different forms and patterns and shapes that have no business being where they are, with no flow whatsoever. Again, if you're interested in a more in-depth analysis, check out the video on the iCard. What a shame that my favorite design of last season morphed into this. Number 9, I'm rating the Haas livery, and the reasoning is pretty obvious. This is a car from a US team, painted in Russia colors, which I find quite amusing but not the reason for disliking. As a design, it's not half bad, but it's what it represents that I don't like. I'm not going to bother you with an anti-Mazepin propaganda because I've already done my fair share of it and you're probably seeing it on every other channel. But the vibe that the car evokes is just off for me. Doesn't seem like the car anyone would like to buy a poster of and put on their wall. Well, all except for one, I guess. Number 8 is AlphaTauri, and hear me out on this. Last year I wasn't a fan of the AT01 at all. I didn't like how the navy looked next to the white and how the fusion was done together. This year it's just worse. With 1 out of every 2 cars being blue, last year's design was at least more recognizable when looking from straight ahead or above, but now, unless it's a fully side shot, it's going to just look pretty much blue. The way the lines flow around the car looks to me as if the storage unit where they were keeping it was flooded with white paint and the car ended up getting dipped in it. The positives are the white rims, which look absolutely amazing under the daylight, and I really like how the stripes are perfectly flat on the rear wing. Number 7 is Red Bull, and yes, I know it's the same livery for the 5th year in a row now, but it's still a banging livery. Still, every year it goes lower and deeper into everyone's ratings as they are getting tired of the look. Each season they also release a special testing livery, which usually slaps, but this year we couldn't even get that. I like how the Honda logos are now distributed, but when you take a look at last year's car, you can see it's just covering up where the Aston logos used to be. So, solid livery, but come on, you can do much better, Red Bull. Number 6 is Ferrari, and goddamn is that green logo ugly. That aside, it's a marvelous car, with the matte red fading into burgundy. Last year's SF1000 in Mugello didn't sit right with me because of the combination with the yellow and the glossy, but this year it looks awesome in contrast with the brighter red. Red and black is just a combination that always amazes, and I think it's good to have something different this year to last year's just red car. If I'm honest, I think I will like it more and more as the races go on, because the Mission Winnow logos are banned in like half the races, so let's hope it's not going to be an eyesore for the remainder ones. I get what they did it though, a red car with white and green accents. Reminds you of something? But the thing is, on the Italian flag the red and green are divided by the white, and here is the reason why. If it wasn't for the green it would be higher up, but overall, good livery, Ferrari. Number 5 is Aston Martin, and it's such a shame really. This had all the potential to be a great design until the last second. You see, the car was originally dark and lime green, same as the LMGTE Pro cars, but at the last second they signed with BWT and the pink ended up taking the spot meant for the lime green, which by the look of these modified pictures would have just looked stunning. Could have been number 2 easily, but personally I just hate the combination of green and pink. Number 4 is Mercedes with their W12. The black car was my second favorite last year, only behind the Williams, but the way they modified it just looks like the W11 did a few lines of baking soda. The sophisticated, flowing and meticulous design of last year gets a bit rougher, more aggressive and less delicate. The AMG sticker bomb has grown on me and I quite like it now. I also like the way the driver numbers were implemented this year, whereas last year it looked like they figured out they forgot to add them and had to run to the nearest place with a printer to get those numbers done. That happened last year and the one before that really. The last time we've seen the numbers have something to them was for 2018's W09. The fade to silver I don't really like, but I completely understand why it's there. Number 3 goes to Alfa Romeo, and it was a tough call whether to put it in 3rd or 2nd, but I eventually settled for 3rd for the reasons I'll explain. This livery is sublime. The white with the slightly metallic burgundy worked amazing in 2018 and 2019, and I'm glad it's back for 2021. Last year's red was just too red for me. Looked very out of place, but the pattern with the super modern corruption-like transition between the colors was just... The only thing I would have done to this year's livery was to implement the 2019 or 2020 transitions, which play an important part in the decision. This year's transition just doesn't do it for me, and although I appreciate how the white line flattens under the Alfa Romeo logo, the way it goes away on the top of the Orlen logo is a bit too soon for me. I would have extended it and made it disappear right above the side pod and closer to the mirrors. Number 2 goes to McLaren, and I just think this is what last year's MCL35 should have looked like. I'm one of those who think the MCL34 was one of the most beautiful cars ever, and the follow-up MCL35 left me wide-eyed, but for all the wrong reasons. I didn't like the matte orange at all. The decision to paint the halo was horrible, and how the black parts were left unpainted made the car appear unfinished. I was all for the implementation of the rainbow, but it created another hard line where there should be maybe a fade. Wow, I just really talked for that long without saying anything about the MCL35M, huh? Okay, here we go. All those things I just said were fixed for this year, with the exception of the painted halo, but let's just not get into that. I really like the new blue and slightly less red-orange, with the rainbow implementation being done great. It's a really simple livery with no complicated lines, but in a sensible way. It looks fast, classy, old school, and modern all at the same time. So yes, of course, who else but Alpine takes the crown for my favorite 2021 livery? When this one was unveiled, I was just speechless as demonstrated by this tweet. I love satin metallic as a primary color, and the way the deep blue was implemented left me speechless. The way it fades into the French flag at the back, and then the Alpine logo is sublime. The implementation of the black is also perfect in my opinion. It's very French, but I just love the A521. And that is that. That completes my rating of the 2021 liveries from worst to best. Keep in mind this is my personal opinion and it's completely okay and to a point expected for you to disagree with me. As always, like and subscribe, thanks for watching and I will see you all in the next one.